Hello everyone. In this video, we will talk about altitude of a triangle. In last video, we spoke about median and we saw that median is a line segment joining the vertex with the midpoint of opposite side. Now, in case of altitude, we don't join the midpoint. But yes, we have a line segment starting from the vertex to the opposite side. But before that, let's understand what is a height. So if I have a boy and I want to measure his height, he's standing on the ground and I want to measure his height, what we do, we take some straight object and we find what is this point. And then between this point and the ground, we measure the distance. Now, do we put the measuring tape like this to measure the distance? No. This is not the shortest distance. So we take it close until we get the shortest distance. And when we get the shortest distance, this tape is actually at 90 degrees or right angle to the ground. So a shortest distance is always found by having a 90 degree angle with the base. Now this is what we use to find the height of a triangle, or which is also known as altitude of a triangle. So we have drawn a triangle and we want to find the height or altitude of this triangle. Now what we'll need to do is we need to decide this point, and from this point we have to draw a perpendicular. So a line segment which makes right angle with the base. Now in this case, base is BC. So I have drawn a perpendicular line from A on to the BC. Let me call this point D. Now in this case, AD is called the height of the triangle. So how we define height or altitude of a triangle? So it is a line segment which joins the vertex and one point on the opposite side such that it makes a 90 degree angle with the opposite side. Now the question is, do we have only one height? What happens but if instead of BC the triangle rests on AB? Instead of BC, the triangle rests on AB. Then C will be at top, and which means we have to draw the altitude from C. But how can a triangle have three different altitudes having different measure? Height is used mainly to calculate the area of a triangle, and we will talk more about height when we reach there. Now let's talk about the properties of height. So we see that there are three altitudes. Originating from each vertex. In the triangle given here, we see that all the altitudes are inside the triangle. But let's take a situation where we see that some of the altitudes may be outside the triangle as well, or may not be on inside of the triangle. So let's draw the remaining two types of triangle. This was the acute angle triangle. We will draw obtuse angle triangle and a right angle triangle. We have a right angle triangle and an obtuse angle triangle. Now in this case, if we consider, let's say, PQ as the base, then we have altitude RS, which is inside the triangle. Now if RQ is the base, then we need from P draw a line segment which makes a 90-degree angle with RQ. But we already have PR which makes 90-degree angle with RQ with the side opposite to it. So PR itself is one altitude. Similarly, if we consider RP as the base, then QR is making a 90-degree angle. So QR itself is an altitude. So in case of a right triangle triangle, we see there are two altitudes which are on the triangle. They are not interior. They are on the triangle. What about the obtuse angle triangle? So let's this triangle LMN. If I want to draw an altitude from M, so MO is one altitude which is inside the triangle. What about the altitude from L on MN? The closest is LM, but LM is not a right angle. And if we go from this side, it is not going to make a right angle. So for the right angle, what we need to do is, we need to extend the MN. We need to extend this and then draw a perpendicular LP. So what's happening? The altitude is actually outside the triangle, in exterior area of the triangle. It is exterior to triangle. Similarly, if I have to draw of altitude from N, it's going to be in the exterior of the triangle. Which means in an obtuse angle triangle, there are two altitudes which are in the exterior. So that gives us a property of altitude is that altitudes does not necessarily lie in the interior of the triangle. In case of a right angle triangle or an obtuse angle triangle, they are not interior of the triangle. Only one of the altitude is interior. In the case of right angle triangle, two altitudes are on the triangle. Whereas in the case of obtuse angle triangle, two altitudes are outside the triangle. I am sure you have liked the video. Hit the like button and leave your views in the comment section below. Do watch our other videos on this topic. Subscribe our channel and click the bell icon to get notifications whenever we upload new videos. You may also download the YouTube app at the link provided in the video description. Till we meet again, goodbye.